When you first started with Drip Club, they were doing about 360K a year, or on track for that. You're doing a lot of blocking and tackling, you're doing accounting. Things are different now. I mean, you guys are around approaching 20.
Yeah, 15 to 20 million.
Okay, so what does your day-to-day look like now?
It's still a lot of people, you know, so I'm not necessarily out there, you know, recruiting like all the time, but it's a lot of it is, you know, turning that energy inwards. And I definitely think that you have to flip the switch at some point of being like early stage CEO where it's okay and you can almost glorify doing a little bit of everything because you don't have the budget to necessarily bring in specialists. But a lot of it is, I think, scaling is role specialization. So, you know, bringing in the guy that's going to be way more, you know, knowledgeable than you can ever be in a very specific topic, like, you know, whether it's bringing in a general counsel to handle all the legal issues, or, you know, president of the company who's managed much larger organizations than you have. So a lot of it's still around finding the right people to tackle the right challenges, and then also anticipating kind of, you know, what the next stage is going to bring in terms of new challenges.
Once you go over 10 million, what I'm hearing from a lot of people is you are looking at specialists, you're looking at the executive team. Going from 1 to 10, it's more process than anything. Right. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think in different industries where the unit economics are different, it's probably, you know, that sliding scale. You know, in software, it might be like 5 million is that cap, you know, yep. Because it's just such a tedious process to sell the product, and the pricing is not as high as, like, you know, something that's hard goods. But yeah, generally, I think wherever that glass ceiling is, it's almost like there's a great book by Michael Gerber called The E-Myth, and there's just a line in there that where he says, you know, you got to learn how to work on your business, not in your business.
Yep.
And it's a, you know, I think it's a tried and true sort of thing where I think that element of my role, my day-to-day, has not really changed much. The numbers are just bigger, and the impact is hopefully greater. The general principle has not changed much.
The three of you, and maybe other people now, you are starting this new thing. Can you tell us about that?
We did a kind of corporate rebranding. So Drip Club makes up our business today, and it's kind of what our customers know of us. But our parent company, the name is Shift Ventures. When we started in 2014, it was kind of like starting a vape company in 2014 was the equivalent of starting a weed company in 1994. Everybody like is looking at you funny, like, "Whoa, vape? Like, is that weed? Is that, you know, oh, that's bad. You know, you're poisoning kids." And, you know, and then you juxtapose that with things like there's a study that just came out of Georgetown in their oncology department where he said, okay, let's take a population level sort of model and model out what it looks like if everybody in America over a 10-year period who smokes switched from traditional combustible cigarettes to e-cigarettes. And let's do kind of a pessimistic sort of worst case scenario. E-cigs are way worse than we thought they would be. And let's take a best case scenario. E-cigs are as good, if not better, than what we think they can be. Because, you know, as a lot of people don't really know, like, nicotine's actually, you know, one of the addictive components, but it's not the thing that kills you, right? It's like psychostimulant, just like caffeine is. And in the pessimistic worst case scenario, over a 10-year period, you still save 20 million years of human life over the population of the US. And in the best case scenario, which was part of their headline for this study that was published in the Journal of, you know, Tobacco Control, I think, it was 86 million human years of life saved and added, extended. So going back to Shift Ventures, why is that relevant? It's incredibly relevant because what we realized what we were doing at the macro level was we were taking, you know, this relatively new technology, and it's not as exciting or cool as, you know, AI or machine learning in terms of, you know, grabbing all the headlines, but, you know, vaporizing and sort of the heating element of vaporizing as opposed to combustion is, you know, relatively new. It's been around for 10 years only, give or take. And we realized we're just taking bad habits and shifting them into better ones that, you know, sometimes it's not easy, or it's really impossible for some people to quit a habit because there are ritualistic, you know, sort of elements to consumption of cigarettes and nicotine. Like, nicotine is actually biphasic. So what that means is, depending on your mood and, you know, what you're going through, your body actually interprets the manifestation of nicotine in terms of how it affects you, like, psychoactively, is different. So it's a really interesting sort of substance to study at on a scientific level. And what we realized was the sort of net sum of all of that was, look, yeah, we're selling liquids that go inside vaporizers, but do we think and have a high degree of conviction that in 10 years' time, it will be as normalized as, weed is, particularly in the medicinal sense for like pain, relief and things like that? We believe absolutely. So then we started thinking, okay, well, while we wait and do a lot of this hand-to-hand combat to essentially, push out of the market all the guys that don't play by the rules, all the guys that sort of, are here to make a quick buck and, try to be a fly-by-night operation. And while we become this pillar of like, trying to do the right thing and also producing superior products, having a great company with amazing people that believe in our mission, what other product category verticals can we disrupt with this similar notion of, taking the incumbent, making those that contribute to a unhealthy or bad, lifestyle where you're taking years off your life, like eating poorly or drinking soda, all of these things that are just coming into the, like the public domain essentially, right? Mm-hmm. And how do we change these bad habits with products that just shift them to being better habits?
Got it, okay. I think people are probably thinking right now, well, great, Mike's done all this stuff, he's starting this thing, but I think it's important to understand that you can't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 25. It takes like hard work and it takes a long time to get there, and eventually it becomes big company, small company, big company, and then shift ventures, right? Then you can start to work on other stuff and make a bigger impact. And I think it's great that you develop this vision. Then you basically have this North Star in terms of where you want to go next. Great deal. Well, Mike, this has been great. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Hey, so I hope you enjoyed that interview with my buddies. Let me know what kind of value you got from this video in the comments, and let us also know if you'd like to see more of these videos as well. So if you want to check out the next video, go that way to watch the Drip Club.